everyone and welcome to my end of year TBR. I can't quite believe we're actually in the time of year where I can make end of year TBRs, but apparently we are, and I have a whole stack of books here that I really want to read before the end of the year, so let's talk about them. First one I have is City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, because I still haven't read this yet, despite the fact that I know there's a spin-off that has come out that's all about pirates, which I really want to read because I love pirates and pirate books and all of this kind of thing, but I need to read this series first before I get to that, and I still haven't done it yet, so I am desperate to get to this one. I just haven't done it yet, and it's about time I did it, and I really need to do it before the end of the year. There is also The Ending Fire. This is by Sarah El-Arifi, and it's the final one in the Ending Fire series. The first one being The Final Strife, the second one being The Battle Drum. I've read the first two books and absolutely loved them, and I'm really desperate to see how it all ends and just see what's going to happen to these characters, if they're going to manage to overthrow the ruling classes, this kind of thing, and I just need to get to it, so I really want to finish this year having finished this series. I also really want to read The Princess Bride because I haven't read this in years now, and I know I absolutely love the movie. I recently rewatched the movie and just absolutely adored it, and I want to go back to the book and see what the original book is like, so really need to get to this one. I do have possibly a plan for maybe a reading vlog with this one and maybe a couple of others. I'll see how I feel, so that may happen. I don't know yet, but I do definitely want to read The Princess Bride before the end of the year either way. There is also Our Crooked Hearts. This is by Melissa Albert, and I've owned this book since it came out. I literally pre-ordered it and then haven't read it yet. I know I really enjoyed the Hazelwood series by Melissa Albert, and then I haven't read anything else she's written yet, so I really need to get on this one, especially as we are heading into the darker, spookier time of the year, and this is all about witches, so really need to get on with this one because, like I said, it's seasonally appropriate. I still haven't done it yet, and it's about time I read it. Then there is also Bite Risk. This is by S.J. Wills, and it's about time I got to this one because it says for fans of Skullduggery Pleasant, which I very much am, and this one is all about werewolves and a town that turns into werewolves on a full moon, and I'm like, how haven't I read this yet? I've literally owned this for like a year now. I pre-ordered this one. This is another one that I pre-ordered, and I still haven't read it yet, and it's about time I did it because werewolves, Halloween, for fans of Skullduggery Pleasant, so desperate to get to this one. There is also I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me, and this one is all about ballet and packs with like dark beings and all of this kind of thing, which just sounds perfect for this time of year, and for some unknown reason I haven't read it yet, despite the fact that this has had a whole load of really good reviews and really big hype around it, so I really want to get to it before the end of the year and see what all the hype is about. Another one on this list is Discount Armageddon. This is by Shauna Maguire, and it's the first one in the Encrypted series, and this one is following a young woman who wants to be a ballroom dancer professionally but gets dragged back into her family's business where they are cryptozoologists, which is essentially like zoologists for like magical creatures and this kind of thing. And part of the reason why I want to read this is obviously because it's a Shauna Maguire book, and I think it's one of the only series of hers under her name Shauna Maguire that I haven't started reading yet, but also because it is all about ballroom dancing and someone who wants to be a ballroom dancer, and considering we are currently in the season of Strictly Come Dancing, which is a big thing in the UK and a big thing in my household because we love Strictly Come Dancing. It takes over our lives from the minute the cast is announced, so I mean there's no better time to read this than now. Also, it's the 20th year of Strictly Come Dancing, so I mean there's really no better time to read this than now during the Strictly Come Dancing season, while it's also celebrating 20 years of it. Then everything else I have to mention are all books the Waypoint Books Full Moon subscription boxes sent me that I haven't read yet. And if you do not know what Waypoint Books Full Moon subscription box is, it is a monthly subscription service run by Hannah from Ladder M, who I'll link down below, along with the website for Waypoint Books. And every single month you are sent 2 books. One is a complete surprise to you, but it still will be based on your tastes. And the second one is one that you pick out of a list of 3. And Hannah always pays attention to your tastes and what you want to read, with the kind of things you like to read, this kind of thing, and she nails it every single time, and I also have a discount code that you can use. It's BeccaFM23 if you want to check it out for yourself. And all of these books Hannah has sent me recently that I just haven't read yet. The first one I have is Now Conjurers. This is by Freddie Kolsch, and this one is all about a coven of teenage witches trying to figure out who murdered one of their own. And I know that it is queer, I know that it's set in 1999, and I know that the back of it says an ancient evil, a coven bound in blood, and a love that death cannot destroy. It's also supposed to be deliciously gruesome and a deeply tender love letter to queer found family, dirtbag magic, and 1999, and I am just here for all of those things, so really excited to read this one, especially around this Halloween season. There is also Sajni Patel's A Drop of Venom, and this one is a Medusa retelling by way of Indian mythology, and I read that and just went, say less, I don't need to know anything else. This sounds amazing, so I really want to read it and see what I think about it. There is also The Raven Boys by Maggie Steve Archer, and I won't lie, this one has me a little bit nervous because it says, if you kiss your true love, he will die. And I'm not the most confident with YA romances, shall we say, because I'm very much like starting to learn my tastes in terms of what I like in a YA romance or a romance in general. I've only really read like 3 romances technically so far, because I've read Heartstopper, Red, White and Royal Blue, and then also Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda, and I know I really enjoyed all 3 of those things, but I have not read any YA romantasy technically, so I'm intrigued because I know that this one's also about clairvoyance and that kind of thing, which really intrigues me. But I am a little bit nervous because I don't know what I'm going to think about the romantasy side of things. But I trust Hannah entirely, so we shall see what I think. But I am just a tad bit nervous. I won't lie, I'm a tad bit nervous, but I'm sure it'll be fine because Hannah knows my taste better than I do. There is also Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, and I'm just going to read the back of this one. It says, 5 years ago, Princess Kala vowed to tear down Sanair's tyrannical monarchy. First she killed her parents, now her sights are set on her uncle, the remaining reclusive king. The only way to reach him is to enter his deadly games and be crowned the winner by his hand. Anton Makuza, I apologise right now if I've mispronounced that, childhood love lies in a coma and he is deep in debt trying to keep her alive. His last chance at saving her is winning the games. When the two form an uneasy alliance, victory is soon within their reach. But as their mutual attraction proves increasingly undeniable, Calla must decide what she's playing for, her lover or her kingdom. And this sounds really intriguing. I think this one is an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, if I remember rightly. Just don't quote me on that because I don't really know Shakespeare plays that well. But I do know that Chloe Gong's books are all Shakespeare retelling, so I'm intrigued about that front because I am also seeing Macbeth in November. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I'm excited to see what I think of like Shakespeare retellings and things like this. I'm a little bit nervy about the romance again, but again, in Hannah we trust. She knows my taste better than I do, so I am intrigued to see what I think about this one. Then there is also Dreadful. This is by Caitlin Rosakis, and this one is about a guy who wakes up in the evil villain's lair. He has no idea who he is, how he got there or anything else, and it turns out he's actually the evil villain, and he's got to figure out whether or not he wants to be that villain or if he wants to be the good guy. And that just sounds like so much fun. I love a villain POV. I love a villain trying to redeem themselves, that kind of storyline, so I'm really excited about this one. I've heard this one is meant to be really funny as well, if I remember rightly, and it just sounds really fun, so I think it'll be a really good one to end the year on. And then finally there is volume 2 of Joe Henderson's Skyward, and this is following an Earth in the future where gravity has shifted a little bit, so everything is a lot lighter, and I really enjoyed the first volume. The artwork in here is really cool, if I can find a really good bit. I mean, you can sort of see it here. It looks really cool. I really love the storyline of this one. It looks a lot more action based in this one as well, which is exciting. And overall, I'm just really excited to read this one because I really enjoyed the first volume. And that is my end of year TBR. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me a book you really want to read before the end of the year. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a snake emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, as well as a link as well down below to my bookish Etsy store if books are more your thing, as well as a link as well down below to Waypoint Books if you want to sign up for their subscription box or to just buy a book from them in general because they are a fantastic indie bookstore. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. Until next time everyone, bye!